So the playoffs are really starting to heat up now. Obviously, we had the eliminator/qualifier game on Wednesday night taking place between Bath and Wealdstone. Wealdstone obviously ran out 3-1 winners. You obviously saw from my my review or preview from a few years ago. Check that out if you haven't already. And obviously now we move on to the semi-finals games now, where you fancy anyone at this point. Welling go up against Chelmsford and Wealdstone going away to Woking. So you fancy anyone now? It's anyone's games. Playoffs are a lottery. These are just one-off games, so anyone can do it. So without further ado, let's get on to the first game. The end of season form for the two teams are fairly similar, to be fair. Welling's form have been 3 wins and 2 losses, whilst Chelmsford's have been 2 wins and 3 losses. So both teams have struggled for consistency going into the end of the season, and they're both in similar range of form. Welling's 3 wins were 4-0 at home to Hampton, 2-0 at home to Chelmsford, and a 2-1 victory at home to Bath, whilst their 2 losses came 4-1 away at East Thurrock, which was a much changed side for them, to be fair, and a 1-0 loss away at Slough too. Chelmsford's victories were 1-0 away at Chippenham and 2-0 at home to Woking, and their losses were 3-1 away at St Albans, 2-0 away at Welling, and 3-0 at home to Wealdstone. So Chelmsford aren't exactly in the best of form, because they obviously had that dodgy spell and they did manage to get into playoffs only because they were so far up. And obviously they've only got into the semi-finals of the playoffs at the expense of Concord, who were barred due to their ground not being up to standard. Nevertheless though, you've got to fancy either side, because the playoffs, as I said, they're a lottery. Anything can happen. It's a one-off game. Anyone can catch anyone out on a bad day. Hampton actually caught Chelmsford out last season. Obviously, they took their chance of the penalty. Well, they didn't do much else of the game. They did check their chance on the penalty and managed to get through to the final at the expense of them last season. Nonetheless, the two times that these two sides met during the season was back on the 19th of April at Parkview Road. Welling ran out 2-0 winners thanks to a Bradley Goldberg double and a Ches Isaac red card for Chelmsford. And the previous encounter at Melbourne took place back in 2018, where it ran out a 0-0. I was a 0-0 draw, and Sean Batt was sent off in the last minute for Chelmsford. Not much happened, the two teams shared the points. Players to watch out for in terms of Welling, they've got a lot of firepower going forward. They've got an amazing team. That's of Thierry Udell, Brendan Kiernan, Bradley Goldberg. They're all great players. Danny Mills as well. They've got a really good side, and they've done really well this season. And I think that for me, they are my favourites to go up as things stand. However, that could all change. You never know. And yeah, they've got a lot of firepower going forward, and they're going to cause Chelmsford lots of problems. However, Chelmsford do have a lot of good strength for themselves. Rhys Murphy in particular is a real lethal talisman, and if you catch him on a good day, he could really punish Welling. So Welling have got to keep him quiet if they want to be getting through here, and because Rhys Murphy can easily punish anyone's defence on a bad day. Prediction-wise for this one, it's a real tough one to call. Can easily see it going either way, possibly to extra time, but I think Welling will just edge this one out in normal time. I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory for Welling in normal time to see them through to the final, and at the expense of Chelmsford, who will miss out and, you have to say, bottle it in the playoffs yet again. Moving on to the other semi-final, it's taking place at Kingfield between Woking and Wealdstone. So Wealdstone have done brilliantly well to get this far already. No one expected them to get this far into the playoffs. Amazing victory away at Bath the week on Wednesday. No one expected them to do that either, obviously me included. And they've got to be a real force to be reckoned with here. However, Woking aren't going to be any pushovers. Despite their dodgy run of form going into this, they're still going to be a real tough side to beat. As I said, Woking's form is a real concern going into the playoffs, and their form going towards the end of the season had been 3 losses, a win and a draw. The losses coming 2-1 at home to Gloucester and Concord, and a 2-0 loss at Chelmsford. And the sole win was away at Dulwich, and the sole draw 3-0 at home to Torquay. However, they have intended to turn it on against the big sides and on the big occasions. It's what's got them so far into the FA Cup, what got them to that game against Watford, and what got them that massive victory against Torquay in the first round, and a massive point against Torquay early on in the season. So Woking are not going to be any pushers over, as they said. They're going to be well up for it. So will Wealdstone, however, back with lots of travelling away fans. I'm pretty sure we segregated, packed out it will be. But Wealdstone's form in contrast, including the victory away at Bath, would have been 3 wins and 2 losses. And those wins were 3-1 away at Wealdstone, 2-1 at home to Hemel, and 3-0 away at Chelmsford. And the 2 losses coming at home to Dulwich and away at Hampton, yeah. And the last time these two sides met was back in January the 26th, where Wealdstone went out 2-0 winners at Kingfield, thanks to a double from Alawakia and Pratt. Shepherd saw red in the 71st minute for a straight red for a bad challenge, but it wasn't to dent Wealdstone's chances here. They held on for the 2-0 victory, and a great away victory too. And the other time they met was back at the Grosvenor Novell, and Wealdstone managed to beat them. So Wealdstone have actually done the double over Woking, which will be a massive, massive factor. Lynch was an 85th minute winner, giving them the only goal, and Spence saw red for a second booking in the last minute for Woking too. So Wealdstone I've done the double over Woking, as I said, so they'll have that to go by. They can beat them. They can easily beat them. However, a key factor will be the trip down to Bath on Wednesday night, which could prove tiring for the players, which could play a key factor. And I think I'm just going to back Woking again for this one. Despite Wealdstone's fight, I think it will come to an end here. Even though they've had a brilliant season, I think Woking will just have enough, as they have tended to turn it on in the big occasions, even if they have gone off the pot boiler recently with their form. And I think Woking will just edge this one 2-1 as well. 2-1 to Woking, just like the Welling Chelmsford game. I think it'll be 2-1 to Woking, as I've said, and I think they'll just have enough to see off Wealdstone, but Wealdstone won't make it easy for them. Wealdstone will fight, and they'll just come up short, I think. And I forgot to mention just some players to watch for both sides. Woking, you know all about them. They've got the unbelievable squad like Greg, Max Kretschmar, Josh Casey, Paul Hodges in defence, Josh Casey in defence, Paul Hodges up front, Jake Hyde, lots of firepower up front, lots of dangerous players that will cause Wealdstone a lot of damage. However, Wealdstone of course got some good players of their own, like I mentioned in the preview against Bath. They've got Monacana, Shepherd, Pratt, lots of good players, Danny Green as well, Christian Smith, a lot of experienced players in the Football League too, so they too have got a strong squad and it won't be easy, but I still think Woking will just edge it 2-1. Just different to have the quality to do it, because they have tend to turn it on a big occasion, as I said. And that's going to be about it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave your thoughts on the games down below and your predictions. I'll be sure to respond to your comments down below as well. Hope you enjoyed this video. Leave it a thumbs up, subscribe, turn notifications on, and I'll see you for my next video very, very soon.